All right, we'll shut this door. Molly's barking out there at the moon.
Do you have what?
Bark at the moon.
Just where they.
Oh, I got mine next door. I'll go get them. All right, so here you go. There's a note. There, we're doing it. Now we're doing it. I don't know why this video is all crazy.
That was from last time.
I know, it's been really weird how we're doing this, right? It's been really weird.
Yeah, I got my notification.
So you got our notification. All
Hello,
right. Man, y'all, it's getting darker sooner and sooner and sooner. Silver prices are off the chain. Buckle up. That could be an indicator. 100% tariffs on all Chinese goods. Woo!
Okay, let's see what we're doing today. There's Trina and Pearls of Wisdom and Colin and Linda from Oklahoma. Jessica's here. Howdy, howdy. 2 honeys and a hive. That's a cute name. Golden Eagle, KTB. Sounds like a radio station. All right, there's Lori, Rhonda, Tammy, Peggy, Tracy, Harold. Howdy from Wyoming, y'all. I like Wyoming. Jeremy's here. Tracy's here. Melissa. All right. Well, cool. Yeah, so what I thought to do, he can talk about his stuff, and I'm going to talk about my stuff today. So we'll go back and forth. But we have a lot of apples, and I'm going to give you one recipe. I don't know. We haven't really talked about it in a long time that some of you guys might appreciate. So we're going to do that in a little bit, because some of these things that I like to do are really simple. So I'm going to give you 2 easy little recipes that you can do.
Let me tell you first off the bat, let's straighten this up. This is our stuff. There's no his stuff and my stuff. This is our stuff. I heard you.
No, your stuff that you like to talk about. I like to talk about.
I don't like to talk
things.
about it. I find it pitiful, and I'm sad that we even have to talk about it. But the government tries to take you out. The big pharma tries to take you out. And all I've been doing for the last couple of years is trying to point it out so you can get a clue. But go ahead.
Well, Lynette says the door on her chicken run keeps closing before all the chickens can get in. Well, maybe they're
turn off the automatic door.
They're when the sun goes out, I guess some of them are a little late. They like to stay out a little later.
Everybody hit that thumbs up on your way in. It helps everybody get, tonight we were changing pace a little bit. I'm not going to talk about any of this stuff that's going on, you know what I mean? Like Charlie Kirk fatigue and how the Zionist Jews are running wild and how Trump and Netanyahu got together so he could win the Nobel Peace. I'm not going to talk about any of that stuff. We're not going to talk about how silver is going off the right now. We're not going to talk about China and the 100% tariffs. Tonight, we're just, if you have questions about our life and living off grid, like the Amish, for 17 years,
I have one.
You can ask those questions. Tonight's Q&A night. We're going to try to get your mind off of all this stuff for a little bit so you can see that there's another lifestyle outside of the one that you've been living, or the one you've been programmed to live is more like it. And we can attest to it because we were just like a lot of y'all 17 years ago. And plus we were living in the city. We were going to work and struggling to pay our bills, and we were overweight, and we were, having health issues. She was for sure. And you know what I mean? Like we were all gobbled up in this, system. And then we broke free. We bought 10 acres out here in the country. We built this log cabin with 0 experience. I did it in 90 days. And we've been living out here. And for a large portion of our time out here, we have been sharing our videos on YouTube on how you too can live the simple life, right? There we go. So let's answer some questions, talk about what's going on. And welcome to our channel if you're new around here.
Well, I want to congratulate Jen, because she did a fermenting workshop and she did really good. So
way to go, Jen. Hit
and
that thumbs up, y'all.
And then Elect Bear 96 says, how much money does it take up front to start living this lifestyle, really thinking about it and going to start looking into it?
Look, it depends. Like when we first started this was 17 years ago, you could buy a piece of land out here for like $3,000-$4,000 for 1 acre. Now it's like 10, 15, I've seen it even almost $20,000 an acre. So, I've always said in our videos and all the time we've been on social media that you shouldn't wait. Don't hesitate. If it's something that you want to do it, because prices are going to go up, and they're still going to go up, and it just gets harder and harder to do this. Now, you don't need 10 acres to live the homestead lifestyle. An acre maybe or two, you need 2 acres for every sheep that you have. So if you have a couple sheep, right, unless you're feeding hay a lot. So you just got to keep these in mind if you want to raise livestock or if you want to grow food. But to grow food and have a nice place out in the country in a rural area, 1 acre is plenty. You can do a lot on 1 acre.
You can have, the big thing is everyone start with chickens because you get eggs and meat from them. You can also use their fat if you need it for, to cook things with. So chickens are a good one. You don't need a lot. And then if you do some raised beds, you can have a food forest, look into permaculture, get your fruit trees, get some bushes, things that don't take as long, like some blueberries or things. You can really do a lot. We have a book. Let me get it. I'll show you.
She's going to get it. She's going to show you. Hopefully it's one of ours so we can plug our shameless plugs on the stuff that we sell to help benefit your life. Offgridwithdougandstacy.com. Hit the shop tab. I'm going to leave a link for you guys there. You can get medicinal teas, candles that we make, and pearl powder when it's back in stock. If you did order the pearl powder, we apologize. We have people waiting since October 23rd. I was overwhelmed by the response, first of all, and second of all, it was our new product, and I wasn't really sure how this, system was going to go. But now that I know, I'm going to be much more prepared, and once we get over this little hump, everything will be smooth, because once you get the pearl powder, you're going to want to reorder it and reorder it and reorder it and make it part of your lifestyle. Okay, it's a superfood, and if you go to our website, you can read about it, and then I'll have it. So usually when we sell you things, we ship out within, 24 hours. So this is an anomaly. It's only happened like one other time, I think. And it's a new product, but I will get it straightened out for you guys. You can take it to the bank. You'll get your pearl powder. Just hang in there. You'll get a tracking number with an email with a tracking number. And all that's happening soon. I think this next batch of pearl powder will be here this week. And as soon as it gets here, we're going to bag it, tag it, and get it out the door. Okay? So, and if you ordered in October of something, we got to fill those orders first, and I'm going to be on this stuff, and then we'll have a little supply laying around, but you want the freshest. I get the freshest stuff possible. Okay. So that's what's up. If you order the pearl powder, hang in there. It is coming.
And then here's the book. This is an incredible book because it gives you pictures, ideas, layouts about anything you'd want to do.
John Seymour and the Self-Sufficient Life. That's one of the books I leaned on.
And how to live it. So Self-Sufficient Life and How to Live It by John Seymour.
Yeah, Judy said, I got Doug's booklet. That's the one you really should get because that really will start walking you through the first steps.
That's the basics.
Yep.
And then
that's the first steps if you want to live off grid.
Yes.
I also have a homesteader's booklet, which will help you with some things. And they're very small. They fit in your pocket. It's very good.
But this is talking about like clearing your land. It's talking about animals. It's talking about how to set up your homestead. It's talking about like half acre, an acre, tools. Everything. It goes in. This is an incredible, incredible book. Okay. So recommend that if you're wanting to do it. We have a lot of questions pertaining to this. So like we're talking about getting the land. Let's say these people already have land.
Okay.
What would be your first thing you would tell them?
Plant your fruit trees.
Fruit or berry bushes.
If you don't have your fruit trees in, it takes 4 to 5 years for them to come online. We actually witnessed that firsthand. It wasn't the first thing that we did was put in the trees. We did it soon after, but put your fruit-bearing plants in and trees in because it takes them a while to come online. And you don't have to have a lot of them. You know what I mean? Like, so 2 apple trees is fantastic. You'll be dripping with apples in a few years, like we're going to talk about tonight with our apples here. Plum trees are the same. Pear trees are the same. You just don't need a lot of them.
Yeah, because once you start getting, you'll get a lot. And then then they're falling, and then you're like, what am I going to do with all these? So you have friends. You can go ahead and give them to friends, feed them to your animals. But sometimes if you plant too much, you're going to get a lot of apples. R. McGrath wants to know, what is the cell salt you talk about? The cell salts we like are the Jacksons, and you can go on our site and
there's the link right there. You can scroll down to Dr. Tom Cowan and you can click the link for the cell salt, CELL.
And then there is a whole kit that it has something for like every kind of ailment. There's a whole kit, or there's one that's called the 12-in-1 where it has all the cell salts together that can do a whole host of things from fatigue to headaches to colds, all that kind of stuff that are good, that will give you all the minerals. And that is another one. If you could pick one, that is a great one because it's got everything in one. And highly recommend those. I carry them with me wherever I go. So just in case, you never know. So that's counts. And then
Faith, I know you just got here, but we talked about the pearl powder. No one's received it yet. Well, there were some people. We sent out quite a few hundred orders. And now we're waiting for the next batch to show up, and then we'll be sending out the next batch of pearl powder. And some people might miss that one too, and then I'll have another batch coming in. Like I said, it was a new product for us. I underestimated the response, but I will get it out to you as soon as it shows up. We'll be working really quick to get it out the door.
So Cindy says she's moved on to 49 acres and rain collection and fighting fox and coyote, rabbits, chickens, and ducks and quail. Been here since January. So Cindy, the big thing with those animals like that is I would highly recommend, if you have an outside dog, to have a dog outside, because they can really do a lot of help that way. Other than that, you need to be trapping or waiting outside, like, with your shotgun and just waiting.
Yeah.
And just try to get them and maybe alert your neighbors around. Luckily, with the coyote we had here, between Doug and then him down the road,
yeah,
they got the coyotes that were messing with everyone's stuff around here. So it all worked out. And the thing is we just kind of found out with a fluke, by talking to them. So just kind of go around and say, hey, are you having any issues? And maybe you guys can band together. Because I will say, in our 17 years, the fox was the hardest thing that we've ever had to deal with. Molly does really good getting all the other creatures too, and other you can get them a lot easier, but there's a reason they call them a sly fox.
Yeah, we have Osage orange. We use that for our fences around here. And it's called hedge here. Mm-hmm. And it does burn very hot. So if you're going to use a wood cook stove like we do, be very careful if you use hedge for that.
Yeah, you don't only a little piece, and those are the pieces you save for when it's very, very, very cold. Like, I will never burn. I can have a little area on the side if we have that. If on really cold, windy days, I'll use that. Other than that, we don't.
Gary Wade, if you want to get on our email list, which I really don't send you out a lot of emails, I'll try to get better at that. I keep saying that, but it's just, I'm not a spammer kind of guy. I don't want to send you emails all the time. But you can go to Off Grid with Doug and Stacy, this link I'm putting up right here, and you can fill out the box that, says that. Here, get on email list. It's totally free. We send out some hot tips here and there, and whatever I find or I think is interesting. And fill out the box that says get on the email list. And also the copper mugs are on that same link if you want to check out the copper mugs. You asked about how much 2 of them are and everything. Everything's on that website.
And then Cindy coming back, and she says she has a dog who's not very helpful. She's 7. So maybe get a dog that you're going to keep outside, that you can get. A lot of people around here like the blue heelers. They're excellent dogs. Truth Seeker was saying recommend getting 2 dogs. They work together, and especially outside dogs are good, kind of hang out together. You can do that as well. We had 2 dogs, and then we ended up, we had kind of ran away. Yeah. And so now we just have 1, because they do keep each other company. Dogs are incredible force to be reckoned with on the homestead. Yep. They ward away if there's like a hawk or something flying over. I mean, they are just incredible at what they can do. So can't say enough about farm dogs. And then people think you're just going to get a dog. I'll just say this if you're wanting to do this. And then the dog's going to be fine and do what it's supposed to do. You have to walk around with your dog. You have to kind of, watch what's going on, because if you're getting chickens and they're new to this and they haven't seen it, you have to train them and put some time into it. If not, you could get someone to help you train the dog. Actually, we have a friend that does that. Vertical Canine. You can go to verticalcanine.com, and he trains dogs, helps you train dogs. So if you need help with that, you can go there. And just know that dogs are pretty priceless on the homestead.
Doug, you're only at 1.5. It's time to start talking about conspiracy. No, that's it. And we've even had people leave. Look, it's only 1482. I'm pretty burned out on all that stuff, y'all. Like, really. That's why you haven't seen any videos from me. We've just been doing these live shows. I've been working on some behind the scenes stuff. And wearing linen shirts, this is the highest frequency for healing. Okay, so if you can sleep on linen sheets or you can wear linen clothes, that is very good for your body.
5,000 hertz. That's high.
Y'all, that's why they hijack the fabrics and put polyesters and plastics and all this nonsense in them, because they know that these things are are helping your body, and they're out to hurt your body. Okay, I know it sounds crazy, but that's exactly what's going on. Okay, they give you things, fluoride, and everything that you've learned growing up has all been designed to keep you dumb,
Yes.
docile, and sick.
They do not want us. We have a lot of power. We do have a lot. And over the years, they've just dumbed us down more and more and more and more through just everything from vaccines to
everything.
Food. I mean, everything. And just watch the fear.
And after
the
you
news
do
and telling you the same thing.
After you do the linen, it would be like 100% organic cotton. That would be the second great fabric that you can get.
Wool.
Wool is very good as well.
Wool and linen are your highest frequencies.
And alpaca, if you can get some alpaca fiber stuff.
Hemp is way up there as well.
Hemp is way up there. That's why we're the only industrialized nation in the world that doesn't grow it and use it industrially. I mean, y'all, you got to see the forest through the trees.
Tim just says, what kind of chickens do we have? So, I can go over some really good, pretty much, they're good
And
breeds.
I did a video about it, the top
Chickens.
5 breeds.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there's other ones too. Actually, our annihilation of the fox, I had got some Brahmas. I have never had Brahmas in all our years being here. And I got Brahmas, and I'm very surprised. I really do like them. And actually, they are a bigger chicken. And they're hardy, they're cold tolerant, so they do very well here. And if I need them, they could be a dual purpose bird, and I can use them for some meat. So I got Brahmas, which are new to me, and they're really cute because they're big, but they have very fuzzy legs, and so they're kind of cute too. So they're good to add to your flock. But Rhode Island Reds or rock stars, really like them. If you want to get more like there's the heritage breed, my ultimate favorite are the Plymouth Barred Rocks. Those are like the black and white checked ones. I love them to death. Yep. And I really love the Barred Rock Roosters. I don't have a Barred Rock Rooster anymore because it got taken out.
We like Rhode Island Reds, but Rhode Island Red roosters are a little spicy.
They can be aggressive. They can be. Not all of them, but they can be. And I love Cochins. Cochins. That's more of a smaller chicken. They're very fuzzy, but if you want a great broody hen who will do anything to take care, they will move heaven and earth to protect those babies.
And they'll grow any kind of eggs. They'll sit on turkey eggs, guinea eggs. They just love sitting on eggs.
I've had 2 and 3 at a time go broody together, and then they're like a double or a triplet mom together, and they're just excellent ones. But you have Wyandottes. You have Australorps, black and white Australorps. Those are all excellent birds. Buff Orpingtons, those are excellent birds. I like the Easter eggers or Americanas. Those are good because you get the green eggs. So there's a wide variety. What you might need to look at, like you can even Google and find out, like if you live in a really cold area, some good cold tolerant birds. Like those ones I've listed are all great out here because we have very cold winters. I will say, we don't have lights, heat lamps, or anything else in here. So I did have issues with the olive eggers when I had some younger ones, and they didn't thrive very well in our cold weather here. But other than that, we've been pretty good. I will say
they do okay.
The foofy. No, but if they would have been a little bit bigger,
yeah,
and then we put them out.
And y'all, you don't have to use heat lamps for your chickens and all this nonsense. Just wait and be patient and get them a little later in spring. That's what we do. And if it gets a little cool, we put them inside here by the wood stove. And we don't really recommend the heat lamps. It's artificial, it's fake, it's just like everything else, right? We don't want our animals growing up in artificial and fake. So just wait a little later in spring and then get your chicks, and then they'll do just fine.
Well, is it Kinde Culp, a Kinde Culp? Bought linen tablecloths and some used linen clothing to make sheets. That's amazing.
That's perfect.
See, you can go and find a lot of this stuff if you go to resale shops. You'll be amazed. Mm-hmm. You can find a lot of linen. That's great. And you can find maybe tablecloths, napkins, and all that. And you
especially if you're
piece
handy.
It together.
Yeah. Somebody asked where I get my shirts. The Amish make my shirts and my pants and my suspenders. Everything I wear, I employ our local Amish community, and they don't have any problem doing it. We've lived like them for 17 years. As a matter of fact, when we first got out here, they were actually taking bets on if we'd actually make it or not. They couldn't believe we would leave the city and the electricity and all the comforts. That's another thing, y'all. They're going to get you with being, comfortable and easy, right? That's the whole trick bag. And so they couldn't believe that. And they were like actually taking bets against us, thought we were going to hightail it back to the city. They could never understand why we would want to come up here and live like they do. How do you keep your chickens and other animals safe from predators? One trick is to keep them kind of close to your docile, like where you live, so you can look out on them, and you can have less, area to walk to get to them. And so when you bring eggs and all this stuff, and you're doing all your work, you don't have it way over there. So we try to keep our chicken coops are right outside the front door.
Yeah, I can just look at my chicken coop, and my chickens are right there.
Yep.
So, like, if any predators around, they know
like
there's
a fox.
Yeah.
But that's one trick right there, right? But the fox did clean
the
us
fox.
out.
The fox, when the fox, they have the kits, have the babies, they'll come out during the day. So that's when we had the bad issue. When you'd like leave for the day, and then it got so smart that it would creep and sneak around, and oh my gosh, it was the craziest thing to see.
Sly as a fox has a whole new meaning around here.
Yep.
Yeah, but that's one trick right there. Plus, there's other things. You could get the electric nets and all this kind of business. I'm never into that kind of stuff. But there are other ways you can do it. But just maybe, paying attention to them and keeping a dog on the farm. Like if you have a dog on the homestead who's properly trained, it'll do the best it can to keep things away from your animals.
Yeah, Steph says make sure you have a good first aid kit. You can't depend on the government and the disaster.
You can't depend on anybody. The most capable hand is at the end of your wrist.
Denise has a Brahma rooster. I think I don't have a Brahma rooster, Denise. That would be kind of fun to have a Brahma rooster. Never had one of those. Don't ever say never, right? I'm going to have to try to maybe get one of those.
No, the best way to do that, Lil, to keep your cats from having babies is to get them spayed or neutered, but just wait at least till they're a couple of years old. You know what I mean? Like one of the problems that our people have with their canines and their cats.
That's mostly dogs. Cats are a little different. They don't have to wait that long for a cat.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, you don't do it right away, especially with your dogs. When you do it with your dogs early, it causes them all kinds of health
hormonal issues.
Again, that's what they want. They want you to be uneducated about it, tell you to do it. Then when you do it, it's a lifelong thing of showing up, getting pills, having the problems with your dog, the health. You're at the vet all the time. Americans spend more money on the vets. It is so crazy. And if you guys haven't noticed, they've exploded over the last 5 to 10 years. Just exploded.
There's emergency clinics popping up all over for animals now, too. So, yeah, look into Dr. Karen Becker. Find her video. I don't know what it was called, but if you probably Google, say Dr. Karen Becker, why I should not spay or neuter my dog young or something, you'll find it. It's a very long.
Dr. Becker.
Karen Becker. Karen Becker, Becker. It's excellent. She goes into everything and all the health issues from hypothyroidism to bone cancers to urinary incontinence to all these things that animals, especially dogs, will get. She does talk about the ages. She was a big advocate. She's a holistic vet now. Of spaying and neutering at a young age. She told all her clients. It was just really heartbreaking to watch, and how she had all of her people come back in and tell her she's so sorry, what she knows now and all this, because they'd had no evidence of what it can do hormonally and how it affects them and causes so many different issues. So, she goes through everything. Find that video because it's excellent video.
And again, if you don't get your question answered in tonight's video, all you have to do is off-grid laundry, or put how do you do laundry off-grid, and then put in off-grid Doug, and it'll pop up. If you put in how do I save seeds from tomatoes, off-grid Doug, and it'll pop up. How do I collect rainwater, off-grid Doug, and it'll pop up. How do I set up a solar off-grid Doug, and it'll pop up. All the things that you probably have questions about and we're not maybe going to answer here tonight, all you have to do is type in off-grid Doug after your question, and it's going to pop up. Stacy, what is good for ringing in the ears?
I'm going to tell you, for a lot of people, the tinnitus and thing that's going on is from the EMFs.
Yep.
I've heard so many people that have that.
Yep.
If you could
turn off the electricity around you, get your phones away from you.
What's the little boxy thing that we have?
Get the little boxy thing.
What's it called?
Turn your routers off.
But hardwire.
Hardwire to the Ethernet cable.
At nighttime, do not sleep. Do not sleep with any kind of things by
stuff.
head, your telephone, your
right.
cell phone.
Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. I see these folks now are getting Bluetooth hearing aids, y'all.
That's been going on for a while.
I know. Get out of Dodge. A Bluetooth hearing aid. We're trying to tell you guys not to wear these earbuds because they can cause brain cancer, and you can look this stuff up. And the patents on them and all the crazy stuff behind them. And then now the people are coming out with the Bluetooth hearing aids. And it's going to cause big problems, y'all.
And then any of the stuff, your Apple Watches, wearing all the Wi-Fi stuff on your arms, the Fitbits and all that kind of stuff, that's all putting this foreign, non-native EMF in your body. And it's wreaking havoc on your whole entire system because your system is not rigged to be like that at all. We're meant to live naturally, being out in the sun, being outside, not to have all these non-native EMFs that are just really wreaking havoc on our body.
All right, I have to deviate a little bit because somebody had a question about the copper cups. Y'all, we drink out of copper cups because, I'm going to read it, according to Ayurvedic medicine, drinking from water stored in a copper vessel, such as this cup right here, on an empty stomach, detoxifies and cleanses your digestive system first thing in the morning. I'm leaving the link there so you guys can pick up some copper cups if you want to. The copper cup helps stimulate the stomach muscles to move waste products through the intestines and out of the body. Copper kills bacteria, the two common bacteria that cause serious illness. Copper also helps prevent bacteria that causes diarrhea from drinking bad water. Drinking from the copper cup has been shown to boost the immune system and improve digestion. Drinking from copper cup also aids in the production of new cells that help replenish the topmost layers of your skin because copper is the main component in the production of melanin, a pigment that mitigates the color of your skin and eyes and hair. Made of the highest quality, this copper mug is 100% copper. There's no coatings or linings. Somebody emailed me, she put some soap in here and it tarnished a little bit on the inside. That's normal. We don't really use soap on ours that much, but we have some cleaning instructions here and everything. It's an unexpected material choice, adds a modern edge to the traditional mug. We source these things from a good place, 100% from the copper capital of the world. And we have a bunch of them in stock, but with these tariffs and everything, I don't know how this is all going to go. So if you want a copper cup, there's the link, offgridwithdougandstacy.com. Hit that shop tab. There's other things there you can get. All the things that we promote, that we sell ourselves, are for your good. They're not just because. We have medicinal teas. We have the stainless steel tea ball. We have our booklets. Stacy wrote 3 different books for you guys so you can have the knowledge at your fingertips. And, we're just trying to help you guys along with things that have actually worked good for us.
And you can clean the cups too with like a little baking soda, make a little paste and scrub it and clean it up if it does tarnish and all that.
We have cleaning instructions on that link when you read about it, and it's right there. But we drink out of these all the time.
Well, Delia says her Brahma rooster tore up her hens. So maybe I'm the beginning of a Brahma. I'm just telling you, I really do like the Barred Rock roosters.
Yes, you can let the water sit inside the copper mug overnight and then drink it first thing in the morning.
And then make sure you dry it when it's done. And then once it starts to tarnish a little bit, you can clean it. But sometimes it might have like a little bit of a taste to it once it starts to get to that point, and then you can go ahead and clean it.
Is battery-powered electrotherapy for muscles bad for the body? That's a question for you.
Well, a lot of times, a lot of the chiropractors will give that. Like if you're having some injury or something, a lot of that they've had a lot of success with. I would have to, I'm not exactly sure what kind of machine. Do you have a specific name? But that's going to be better than anything else gone through, what do you call it? What's that called? Bluetooth or anything like that.
If you have a sciatic nerve problem,
I'll do more research
for my own experience, it's because you're overweight. And what happened with me is I was overweight. I never was a big fat guy or nothing, but I got a little plump in the belly and it pulled my back out of whack and I had a sciatic nerve problem. So the first thing I would do is watch your food intake, get off the snacks, cut down the sugars, and then get a little more active as soon as your nerve stops bugging you. But that's huge, okay? I'm telling you guys, I lived that firsthand. I never had that problem in my life. And then after I met Stacy, no, I'm just kidding. But I did have it after we got married and stuff. But that's why I had a sciatic nerve problem. I've never had another problem once I got active and I lost belly weight.
And then, so the other thing I would say, that would be one reason. The other reason is you're sitting a lot.
Yeah.
And when you sit a lot, you're sitting in this position. So these hip flexors, were kind of like where your leg attaches to the lower part of your belly, they get very tight.
Mhm.
So probably something you guys could do. So if anybody has that, I mean, having a big belly is going to totally contribute it because it's going to put everything out of alignment. But stretching this, so like if you stood up and just let your leg swing back and forth, back and forth, let it swing, that's really good. So if you're at a desk, if you sit a lot, you're watching television, you're watching a movie at home and it's a couple hours long, make sure you get up and just get up and let the leg, see how my arm is swinging? That's how you want your leg to swing, back and forth, back and forth. Another great thing to do is maybe in the morning before you get up or when you go to bed at night, you want to lay on the bed with your head flat. Don't put your head up on a pillow. Bend your knees, get them kind of close to your butt, and then you're going to do bridges where you push your hips up and then let your hips come down. Like take a breath as your hips go up, exhale as your hips come down. That's going to stretch those hip flexors and stretch your belly. It feels wonderful because we're always in this position, okay? So this is not getting strong and it's getting weak. And then by doing that bridge and pushing those hips up, it's going to really kind of stretch everything. So those are two kind of simple things you guys could do to help with that. But losing the belly makes a huge difference.
Yep. And we're not doctors and we don't play one on YouTube.
But I've worked with people for the past 40 years with this, and like it's just not having movement, having a bigger belly, and then just being sedentary.
Yeah.
I mean, it has a lot to do with it. And then the other thing, let's say you are sedentary. Say you're in a wheelchair. Maybe you're having issues. A couple things I would suggest is like lymphatic, like in a lymphatic brush. It's like a wooden brush with natural bristles. Doing dry skin brushing, you can look up dry skin brushing off grid with Doug and Stacy. There's other videos you can find on it that helps with your lymphatic detoxification and kind of movement. And the other thing, if you have someone that can give you a massage or you can go get a massage, you need movement in your body like that, and that's very helpful as well.
Now, Jamie wants to know, what is the shelf life on the herbal stitches? I mean, they're good for a while.
Well, the thing is just like kind of herbs, they'll be good for a couple years.
Yep.
Just, it might lose a little potencies as the time goes by.
Yep.
Don't put it out in the sun.
Nope.
Don't let it get really hot. Don't let it get really cold.
Right.
It'll last longer.
And if you guys don't know what herbal stitches is, it's a blend of herbs that we have put together for you guys.
I use it all
And
the
that
time.
you can use. I got some on my foot here, but this is just, we send it out in a glass jar. It's no plastic. And you can keep this stuff around. As soon as you get a cut, here, I'll show you an example.
We don't do these things your toe.
Yeah, we're going to see my
You did
toe.
it really bad.
I cut my toe on some sheet metal. See it right there?
How can you even see it?
Oh, you can see it.
It's your
see
pinky
it, my
toe.
pinky toe. It was bleeding like a sieve, split wide open. I put some stitches on there for a couple days. You can see how well it's healing.
No, he would have had real stitches
It's really
on that one.
healing good. Okay, so herbal stitches is, in case you think you might need to go get stitches to keep you out of Big Pharma's loving grasp. We developed this herbal stitches. It's a blend of herbs, proprietary blend, and we get that to you guys out. If you want to get some, here's the link: offgridwithdougandstacy.com. Hit the shop tab. Herbal stitches link is right there. Okay, so get you some. Have it in your truck.
I got some fresh herbal stitches at the office.
Have it in your truck. Have it in your car. Have it at your house. Have a bottle here and there. The end of the year is coming up. A lot of people like to give gifts out then. Maybe you get some for your friends or your aunts or your uncles or somebody who's like accident prone. But this stuff works, man. I can't tell you the testimonies just using it on myself. This stuff is nonstop good stuff.
Anne says that her lymph nodes in her neck are near ears are swollen from tooth infection. It's spread to sinus and throat. Is there anything I can use to ease the swollen lymph node pain while fighting infections? I'll tell you one thing. I think it's 1/3 of the lymph nodes in your entire body are in this area here. You have them here, of course, your neck and then your chest area. You have them under your arms. You have them in your belly. You have them in your groin. You have them behind your knees. For any injury, so she has her tooth infection. So if you had a sprained ankle, if you had, a broken arm, lymph is going to go down to help get rid of that infection and then get rid of it. So look up Dr. Perry Nicholson, lymphatic big six. There's tons of videos on it, but like he would totally recommend when you have any kind of injury or anything like that, that you want to do the lymphatic massage. Okay, you want to do it to help the body. Go through that. Go look at those videos on how to do the lymphatic big cyst. So like if I, broke my ankle or did whatever, I would be doing my lymphatic sex, and especially down behind my knees, because the swelling's going down there to help the body do what it's supposed to do.
What are your lymph nodes?
The lymph nodes are basically,
Come on.
most people know. It's sort of, I call it, it's sort of like the toilet of the body.
Right.
Without movement.
Because we are hunters and gatherers. We're meant to move, and now we're living a sedentary lifestyle because of the devil's box. Remember when your grandparents and parents called it that back in the day? They were right, okay? It's television. It's telling you someone else's vision, and it's causing your body to go in shutdown mode and messing you up. And yeah, you can use herbal stitches on dogs, cats, just anything that bleeds and has open wound. And if you ordered the pearl powder, again, I'll go over it because I got to keep saying this over and over for some reason, but we are behind on sending them out. The interest was overwhelming. I ran out. I got more on the way. This is our new product. I wasn't really sure how this process was going to work, and then we got overwhelmed, and I'm trying to catch up. We'll have some more this week. We'll send out another bunch of orders, and then I'll have more coming in. And so now I kind of understand the process, and I kind of understand how much you guys are wanting, because this is something, once you order the pearl powder, you're going to want to order it again and again. So if you did order the pearl powder, please be patient. Doug and Stacy are 100. We do everything we say we're going to do, and we're just kind of caught in this little bag right now of trying to get more and get it out the door. Okay, so just hang in there. We're not sitting around, high-fiving, laughing about it or nothing. We're very conscious of this stuff. Normally when you order anything from us, it's 24 hours. We get it out to you the next day, okay? We don't mess around with this stuff. But this pearl powder, you guys, unbelievably, you caught me off guard, okay? So as soon as we get it, we'll get it back out to you guys, and then I'm going to have it to where I have a good flow going, to where if you do order it in the future, it's going to go right out, and then we're always going to have some for you guys, because I'm telling you guys, this is going to be a product you're going to add into your lifestyle. It's a superfood, and you're going to notice the results. We already have testimonials for people that ordered it in September 22nd or whatever it was, and they're already emailing us and showing us their teeth and talking about the benefits of it already. So we know what's going to happen here, but I dropped the ball on this one. It's 100% my fault, because I'm in charge of this stuff. And I'm going to do better, okay? But right now, we're just waiting for more to get in, and we'll get it out to you guys.
And then a lot of people are helping Ann with her tooth infection. So you guys, they're all on the ball. Like, of course, getting a saltwater rinse, swish it in your mouth. That's always great and good. Colloidal silver, you can swish with that.
What about
pain? So there's so many things that you can
What about
do.
Coconut oil? That's easy for everyone to get.
Well, right now, if something is, coconut oil can help to, she didn't know she had any.
Do you want to talk about oil pulling for a second?
Well, oil pulling.
Because your dental health affects your physical health.
Huge. So one thing that I do daily is oil pulling. So you can do oil pulling a few different ways. A lot of people may know you can use, coconut oil, organic coconut oil, and you just put it in like half a tablespoon or so. It depends. Like the first time you do it, you'll be like, oh, this is so weird. But you swish, because what it's going to do is draw out the toxins. It's going to help with the gums. It's going to help your teeth. It's a wonderful way to pull out bacteria, and then make sure you spit it into a trash can. With coconut oil, you can use sesame oil. You can use olive oil. I really do like the coconut oil. I like the taste and all that. And that's kind of how I started many years ago. You can do that. That takes, 10, 15 minutes. You need to oil pull with that. If you don't want to go that long, I just do what I can. Sometimes I don't do quite as much. You can also exchange that if you have some good organic hexane-free castor oil. You can oil pull, and that only takes a couple minutes, 1 to 2 minutes. You can swish it in your mouth and then spit it out. That's another option. There's also something you can get called black seed oil or black cumin seed oil that you could do the same thing with. And that's good to help with bacteria and things. You could do that. That's like a minute or two as well. So those are some options. I will say I have done the castor oil, and I do the castor oil too. I do all of them. I'll just try, whatever. My favorite for me personally is I like the coconut oil. I don't think the castor oil makes your teeth as white. So let's say
But pearl powder does.
pearl powder really, you
And
can tell in a
strengthens your
couple
bones
days.
and gums.
Yeah, really. If you're having problems, it remineralizes. It's just amazing. I can't tell you. We've had so many testimonies on that.
Real quick about eating rabbit. We don't eat rabbit. Fun fact is that the Indians starved to death eating rabbit. But we don't eat rabbit because we eat according to Leviticus 11, okay? And it's done well for us, and that's what we stick to. We don't eat the pork. We don't eat the rabbit. It has to chew the cud and have a cloven hoof, okay? Which means a split hoof. So we don't do anything with fingers. We don't do anything like that, all right? And if we eat fish, it has to have scales and fins. We don't eat, catfish that suck the bottom and all the poop and are, disposable. Eating the trash and we don't eat shrimp and we don't eat lobsters, all that stuff we used to eat, and our weight was messed up and we were kind of, but we went to the Leviticus 11 diet and, our food consumption. I don't like the word diet, and that's worked really well for us. So that's all I can tell you. Okay.
Permaculture Mom says she wanted to start a small homestead in Puerto Rico. Food here is so outrageously expensive, at least 2 to 6 times the cost on the mainland. Mm-hmm. Yeah, seeds are much more inexpensive, and you can grow a lot. You get heirloom seeds from So Right Seeds. That's where we get our seeds from. A wonderful family-run company, and that way you can grow and then save your seeds every year, and you'll save your own a lot seeds. Of money.
And they'll also be acclimated to your area. So once you get seeds, after a couple generations, they're getting them more and more tolerant to your area. Fun fact about lobster is, in case you didn't know, they used to feed lobster to the prisoners in the jails. They would shovel lobster down their throats all day long, and then somehow they flipped the script on us and then got you paying $100 for a lobster. Man, everything is a scam.
So Susie says she forgot to do what to use onion skins for. I always save my onion skins, the crackly parts of the onion. And I put them in a paper bag, and then I'll take them out and put them in teas. They're very high in quercetin. And quercetin is very wonderful for the immune system. So that's great. Like, let's say someone is feeling under the weather. You might have to have a little tea. You could put some onion skins in there. They don't taste like anything. So whatever you put them in, and then just use them and put them in your tea. Let it steep, and it's wonderful. A free part of the onion that most people throw away. So save your onion peels, or not your peels, the skins.
If you have coffee stains on your teeth, you can order the pearl powder. Here, I'm gonna go
or start oil pulling. If you oil pull with
either one of those
oil,
two
it will
things
really help.
And pearl powder will clean them babies right up. I'm gonna see something real quick, and if you guys are patient and you want to get some,
we're not doing that.
Oh, no one did it. So it's available to get. If you guys want to get on the list for the pearl powder, you can. It's going to be a minute, but it will help you with your teeth and everything else. Yeah, Stacy's a little worried about it, but just, y'all, if you get the pearl powder, just be patient. And then once we get caught up, we'll have this thing out in 24 hours. As soon as you order it, it'll go out next day. But if you get on the list right now, we're filling orders still from September 23rd. All right. So they're going to get theirs first, and then we'll be catching up on the list. But if you want to be there and get some, go ahead and do it. But just know you got to be chill.
Wow, Permaculture Mom says it's crazy. So this is Puerto Rico. She says in a place where everything grows, there's no one growing here. They are
Isn't it amazing
to get people to start agriculture businesses.
What about farmers around us? They don't even have gardens, y'all. They don't even some of the Amish. Well, most of them do, but a lot of them don't. And for sure, they don't grow fall gardens. We were hipping them to fall gardens.
Well, it's just kind of what they've always done. And then some of them are starting, I see a lot more doing it now. I'm starting to see them doing more. Yeah, it is kind of crazy. And I think, we kind of get into that generation where a lot of the kids are lazier now anywhere in the whole world, and they're not doing.
No, the Amish do not get divorced. They do not go for the divorced. Pearl powder, dog's teeth, give that dog a bone. That's for the best teeth health, is to get that dog an uncooked bone.
If you guys don't have access to, like, if you butcher your meat, or you have a little local small town butcher that you could go in and just say, hey, especially during deer season or something, do you guys have any? Is there any in the trash can, any bones? And they'll say, no, we don't. But there's a trash can over there. If you want to get some of them out, to take them to your dog, but. You can go to the butcher at the store, and you pay for them. A lot of times they have the shank bones and they cut them, or you can ask the butcher, can I have some bones? And can you cut them in half, or you can cut them in pieces so you have nice marrow bone and they can kind of chew on it.
All right, Kathy bought some of the pearl powder, and she wants to know, can you put it right on your teeth, or do you mix it with something?
Kathy, you could, like, if you wanted to sprinkle some on the toothpaste and brush your teeth a little
Don't
bit.
be using the fluoride crest or any of this other crappy toothpaste. Stacy did a video on tooth powder. Go watch, type in tooth powder off-grid Doug. We did one way back in the day. It was funny as hell. Remember that one when you had the black teeth? And then you could type that in, and then we give you the recipe, or you could get Stacy's book.
Now that's before I started using the pearl powder. So if you make homemade tooth powder, you can
Then you just put some in there.
Put like a nice teaspoon or two, you know, in your pearl powder, and then, or in your tooth powder, and then mix it up. Now, if you are going to just have your own toothpaste that you bought, no fluoride, you could go ahead and put a little bit of, sprinkle some of the pearl powder on your toothbrush, and then just a little bit, and then squirt your paste on there, and then brush your teeth like that. You can do that. So you just need a little sprinkle. Same thing if you have a cream, maybe you're buying tallow from a local vendor, or have your own cream that you get, then maybe you could just sprinkle a little in your hand and put the cream on there, and then you can rub it on your arms or your body. So that would be another way, because you're not going to use very much of it.
All right, so if you guys want to ask questions, make sure they're in all cap. I'm leaving the link to get the pearl powder and the teas and everything you want to get. And then just be patient. Again, I don't want to get a bunch of emails about this, y'all. As soon as we get it, trust me, we are very vigilant on the things that we offer in our store that we hold in the Missouri Tea Company. We have a fine reputation, okay? And it's going to be a second for the pearl powder to come in and for us to get restocked up. Again, we're filling orders still from September 23rd. We have another batch that's going to be here probably tomorrow, okay? And then we're going to get on that, get it out the door. I'm already ordering some more, and we're going to get this caught up. And then it'll be, as soon as you order in the future here, it'll come the next day. You'll get a shipping thing, and it'll be there ready for you to go. Okay. Because you're going to want to keep this into your, what you do. Okay. All right. Hate to type in all caps, but how are people who have semi-regular blackouts? How about people who have semi-regular blackouts? So they're just having, sounds like an oxygen problem.
Well, a lot of time, have you had checked? How's your blood pressure doing? Sometimes if you get up and you're feeling dizzy, that could be a magnesium deficiency. I mean, if something like that's happening, that might be something you might want to get checked.
And these are apples from our trees. Stacy was going to do something with them, but we're going to run out of time. It's already been here an hour already.
You guys want it ready to do something with some apples?
Dot, if you want to get a pearl powder and get on the list, I'm leaving the link right there. It's off-grid with DougandStacy.com, and then look for the shop tab up at the top, and then click that, and then you'll see all the stuff we have for sale at the Missouri Tea Company, and then grab yourself some herbal stitches or pearl powder or whatever it is you're after. But
oh my gosh, someone just asked, what do I think of electronic toothbrushes? We did a video
on it a couple weeks ago.
The frequencies and the EMFs that come from electronic toothbrush is by your brain and everything is so higher than the microwave. I mean, it's crazy. I would not touch it with a 10-foot pole. If you are using that, you need to go get a natural bamboo toothbrush. Forget the electric toothbrush.
Yes, thank God. You can get yourself a copper mug even if you have fillings in your mouth. You're not eating the copper. You're just drinking the water.
Okay, do you guys want me to, how many people want to learn how to make apple brandy?
You guys want to do an apple brandy real quick?
Or do you want to learn?
Oh my gosh, we don't have the time.
Apple cider vinegar? Well, it won't take that long. I don't think. I can do apple cider vinegar quicker.
All right, leave it in the comments.
Do you want to
see apple brandy or apple cider vinegar right now on the spot? Leave it in the
comments.
comments.
Or I could do both really quick.
ACV. It makes some applesauce. No, that wasn't one of the questions. Brandy, yes. Vinegar, brandy. You bunch of drunks. Brandy. Apple cider, brandy. Vinegar. Both. Brandy, vinegar. I think brandy wins.
Well, if you give me, can we have 15 minutes? You
Come
guys
on, go
stay
for
for 15 minutes? I'll do both. I can do both.
If you guys stay, hit the thumbs up. We're going to get into it. While she's doing that, I'll do conspiracy stuff.
Please don't. Okay.
I'm not.
Before we start, these apples aren't the most perfect.
Well, that's because they come right off the tree.
Well, no.
You guys have been trained into hold on. You guys have been trained into disregard natural fruit, right? It has to be blemish free, no spots. You know,
But
all
these
the
have been sitting in a
stores.
thing for a while.
I
They're
know,
mushy.
but it's still,
I don't
like
want them anymore.
the ones on our tree have black spots. That's where polishing it on your shirt came from, so you can wipe those spots off. What's it called?
Well, we have sooty blotch.
Sooty
Because
blotch.
it's very, we have a lot of humidity and it's been kind of, and he didn't prune the trees as good, and that can be caused because they're clamped together, but we have a lot of humidity and we get it a lot here. Even when our trees were, when they're pruned, we still get them.
All right, so come on, you got to stay focused.
Okay, so you're going to get apples. So let's say you made applesauce. Let's say you got a whole bunch of apples and you're not going to use them all. And you're like, what am I going to do? Or they've been sitting around and they're mushy, or there are some spots on them. They look terrible. Don't just throw them away. You can use them. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to cut these apples, and I'm going to save, for me, you can put cores in. I'm going to do apple cider vinegar first. You can put cores in. You can put, the whole part of the apple can go in it.
Real quick, y'all, if you want to see any more of this up close personal stuff, we have a university. It's called university.offgridwithdouganstacy.com. We have a tiny bit of conspiracy stuff, little tiny bit of religious stuff, and then we do a lot of this kind of stuff where she's doing all of her, stuff live for you guys, walking you through the process. University.offgridwithdouganstacy.com. We also started that in case YouTube or somebody flexes on us and knocks us off the way. And Jeff, y'all, I also sell firewood. Okay, we have a firewood business in town. It's going great. Of course, this is the time of year when people buy firewood, and we have a good reputation now because I started this because every time I bought firewood or picked it up off the streets, it was always junk and wet and green. But we have a good reputation of selling hardwood firewood, seasoned. I let my logs sit around for 2 to 3 years. Then I chop them up and make the firewood. We have an Easton-made processor, very good machine, and it's doing well. I wanted to do more videos on the Woodlot channel. It's our other YouTube channel, but daggone it, I just don't have enough time in the day, y'all. Plus, I'm building a little something right now. We'll probably talk about that later on. Like maybe it's time for us to move out of the little cabin here, and we'll just see how it goes.
So, I am cutting the apples up, in little pieces. I'm not going to make them really little, but I'm just kind of putting them into pieces like so. If I have a gross part, like a worm or, a really icky part here like this. There was a worm or something in there. I'm not putting that in there. I could put the cores in there. I'm going to put the seeds in there. I might not do all of them, but I'm going to put that in there. And I'm just going to cut them up. This doesn't take very long to do. So the first one I'm going to do is apple cider vinegar. Everyone thinks things are so hard and you go and you buy everything.
Thanks, Kim. We really appreciate that.
You can do vinegar out of lots of stuff. You can do it out of any kind of fruit. If you have pears, if you have peaches. If you had lemon balm, you could do lemon balm. You can make out of raisins. You can make vinegar out of pretty much any fruit. Blackberry vinegar, peach vinegar, any of them. They'll all work. Okay? But most people hear about apple. So we're going to make apple vinegar. All right? Now, where you hear apple cider, you know how you would go ahead and press a bunch of fresh apples and get that cider?
We would never live in town. Period.
No.
Full stop.
Nope, no more.
Don't believe any of the lies. There's a video out there talking all these lies, saying we live in some subdivision and all this. That's all bull crap. They got mad because I called out Patera at Appalachian Homestead for lying about the Tractor Supply thing, and I was the first one to break, on the Homestead channels about the drag queen story time at Tractor Supply. She tried to call me a liar and stuff, so I debunked her, made her look silly, and then one of her little fan people made this lying ass video about Stacy and I and how we live. Y'all, we have been putting videos up for 13 years. I've showed you drone shots of this place. I've been here showing you all this stuff. In 2.5 years, I did videos every single day. So please don't believe that nonsense.
Okay, so I got my gallon jug and I have my apples. I chopped up and put in here. Okay, once they get mushed down a little bit, I'm about a third of the way full. So this is a gallon. I'm going to put...
Oh no, not the white bleach sugar.
Oh, shush. I'm going to put a 1 cup.
Melissa, if you ordered the pearl powder on September 23rd, you're going to be the first one to get here when it gets here this week. It's like right at our door almost. So hang tight, okay? I talked about it at the beginning of the video. And you'll get a tracking number email right off.
I put a cup of sugar in my apples, and then I'm going to fill this up with filtered water, okay? And I have to do that over here. Keep talking, guys.
Oh, filtered water. Y'all, we've been living off rainwater ever since we got up here. Well, oh, hold on. I'm going to get the pearl powder fixed. If you wanted to get the pearl powder, I'm going to fix it right now. But be patient. Don't give me any business. All right?
You're going to get business.
No, I mean, I'm telling everybody, I'm totally upfront. I'm an upfront kind of guy. Okay? So just, you're going to have to hang in there. Because like I said, we're still catching up from a while ago. But I'll fix it right now if you want to get some. I thought it was fixed, but it's not. We had it basically saying sold out. So let me find that right here. And then you guys can jump in and get some. Just be patient.
Okay, I filled it up with water. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stir it with my little paddle. I want to make sure all the sugar is stirred up in there very nicely. And the only thing is you just kind of have to babysit it for a couple weeks now. So what you're going to do is I like to use a cotton cloth, linen cloth. What do I have? What did I put here? So this is an old piece of organic cotton. So like if you have an old pair of sheets or something, pillowcases, then you can just cut it into pieces and then you'll have it. I just put that over it, and I need a rubber band.
All right, go, guys, go. It's live. I put it back live, even though I had it sold out. So, but just be patient. For real now. I don't like getting these emails every day.
Oh!
Don't shoot me in the eye with a rubber band. Oh, no.
So here's a rubber band. So I did my cloth with a rubber band. So as you can see, here you go. There's my apples. They're in there. So what you're going to need to do is the first thing, it's got to go in through stages. So the apple vinegar, I started with apples. So I have to turn this into a hard cider first. Okay. That's why there's a difference between apple vinegar and apple cider vinegar. We all just call it apple cider vinegar. But when we do it like this, it's really apple vinegar. If you had homemade apple cider, the juice already, and then you let that set, that would probably go quicker than having to do it this way. All right. So this is first got to turn kind of into like an alcohol. And then from there, it's going to turn into your vinegar. So I did this. I'm going to let it set. And what I would really suggest you to do is to write.
What sugar do you use? Pure cane sugar from Hawaii.
Yeah. Or you could use, some organic, just organic, the fine sugar. Okay.
And somebody asked about a headache earlier. Maybe try a spoonful of cream of tartar. And if that works, maybe you're low on magnesium. And if the pearl powder was in your hands, you could catch up on your magnesium and your calcium and all your minerals. Plus, if you use Redmond real salt from our link, that saves you money. Scroll down, you'll see Redmond. That'll help you out as well, because all of our bodies, I'm telling you guys, because the food is over high processed, ultra processed, it's depleting your body of the minerals that you need. And plus, you could be dehydrated. Most people are chronically dehydrated. So you got to step up your water intake.
So what I do with my vinegar, I just wrote on there 10, 13, 25, because you'll forget. Because this is going to sit around for a few weeks. Okay?
Right.
So I'm just going to set that. I set it by my sink so I see it. I'm going to need to stir it every day, because what's going to happen is the top here, you don't want these pieces of apples to be exposed to the oxygen. So I just want to kind of push them down, and I'm going to stir it up every day.
Every day.
Because I want to make sure these get coated, and I don't want them to stay up above without getting down there in the sugar, because what will happen is they'll get moldy, and you don't want them to get moldy. So you're just going to stir it every day for a couple weeks.
Where'd you get the lid in this?
My sugar?
Yeah.
Right there.
Honey.
So I'm going to just let this sit out. generally in a month or so, you're going to start seeing bubbles. It's going to start getting, it's really going to start doing its thing, and it's going to change. You can smell it. It's not going to smell like vinegar yet. What a lot of people tell you to do after a month, 4 to 6 weeks or so, they want you to strain the apples out. You can do that and then let it set another, few weeks. It can be anywhere, you can usually get vinegar in a month or two.
What are you making here?
Apple vinegar.
This is the apple vinegar.
But for me,
I thought we were making apple cider vinegar and brandy. How do we get onto apple vinegar?
It's the same thing.
ACV?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So for me, I leave it all like this, and I just let it set, and I'll let it set for a couple months. Sometimes I've left it for 4 months. It's still going to turn into vinegar. But
yes,
generally,
this is in our book, y'all.
I like to leave my vinegar for a couple months. So usually I go 8 weeks. I know a lot of people say 4 weeks. I like my vinegar to be stronger, so I let it go a little bit more. So I just leave it all like this. I don't ever touch the darn thing. And when I'm done, I take the apples out, and then I'll go ahead and strain this out and put it in a jar, and then I have my vinegar.
How much vinegar will that make? Almost a gallon.
Well, no, because you got apples in there.
Yeah, a little bit.
It might make a couple quarts.
Yeah. And you can do several of these at one time. You don't have to just make
Yeah,
one.
I make a lot of them, so I have them all over the place. And then I just keep making it. So that's vinegar.
Does it matter what apple varieties you use?
No, whatever you got.
Whatever you got.
So there's apple vinegar. So then you could also, let's say I was saying, if you have the apple cider that you made with no preservatives in it, it's just the pure apple juice, you put the apple juice in there. That's it. You don't have to do any of the sugar or anything like that. Put the cloth top on like I just did and let it set.
Can you use a puck on that? That's going to be a big puck because that's a gallon.
No. You got to
stir it. You want to stir it so the sugar, water, and everything gets around everything all the time.
Yeah, that's good. I find that it's better to stir it up. I know some people will get a little, like a plastic Ziploc bag and put water in it, and that'll push the apples down, and then you don't have to do anything to it. But honestly, I think it does make it better when you stir everything.
Isn't white vinegar made from corn?
Yeah, and you can make it from other
corn.
stuff. Yeah, I don't like if you're going to use distilled vinegar. I mean, some people like to clean with it. I did find and it's how they filter it. So white vinegar, I found when we were out of town one time. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
It was a family-run.
Oh yeah,
company.
that was just recently.
It was a family-run company that did white vinegar, but it was just because it's just been distilled over and over and filtered quite a few more times to make it white like that. And you can get good white vinegar if you know the company it comes from. And there are these family-run companies, and I wish I have it. Where do I have it? I have it somewhere. I don't remember where I put it. It might be in the RV because that's where we were out of town when we got it. But it's pretty cool. So you can get white vinegar that is non-GMO.
University.offgridwithdougandstacy.com. Forgot the .com. Hold on, let me edit. Can I edit that? No. .com if you want to get more hands-on learning just like this. We do it every Wednesday night. We go live, plus we drop off videos here and there. University. It's the only university we recommend.
All right, so now this is the one everyone loves. This is going to take some time. Like the apple cider or the apple vinegar might just take anywhere from, let's say 6 to 8 weeks to make. And this is going to take a little bit longer. So we're going to make a brandy. So it's going to make an alcoholic beverage, but this is going to need to go. At first, when I started doing this, I would stop it. I did a video on apple brandy and I said 6 months, but honestly, I like it to go a little bit more because it's not quite as sweet. I like it a little bit more, like not alcoholic, but it will be a little more alcoholic, but it gets rid of some of the sugar. Honestly, a really good apple brandy, you need to let it set for like 8 months, 9 months, 10 months, 11 months. You can let it go longer. It's a long-term investment, but if you just go stick it somewhere and write the date on it, you forget about it and you don't have to do one darn thing. That's it. So I normally make them in gallon jugs. Out of the gallon jug, you might get a quart out of that because you're not putting any water in it or anything. You're just letting the juice of the apples, and I'm going to mix it with some raisins and some sugar, and that is it. So I'm not going to do it for time purposes, but normally no, if you're going to do this and spend the time to wait, put it in a 2-gallon container, put it in a couple of these. You want to make enough that you can have something. You know, I used to make it and give it as gifts, but no, it's going to take a few months.
And Corey, the tarnishing on the copper cups is 100% normal. That's just the way copper is. When it hits the water tarnishes it and it doesn't stay shiny. If you want to clean it, we have cleaning instructions on our website that I'm leaving a link for right here. Just scroll down, hit the copper cup thing, and then hit the description tab, and it'll tell you how to clean it up. How do you get deep slivers out of the hand? Get some bentonite clay. That's a drawer and a puller, and it works very, very well.
Yeah, just cover. You could put it a big blob and then put it over your foot or on your hand and go to bed, and then in the morning it should start getting better at coming out.
And no, I do not eat oatmeal. I used to, but we don't do that anymore. Oats aren't really good for you. And you can't build a bigger property.
All right.
It is what it is.
So what you're going to do is we're going to layer. So you're going to get a jar, okay, just like this. And then
these apples are from our property.
Yeah. Organic raisins. So just remember, here's your layering. It's going to go apple, raisin, sugar. Apple, raisin, sugar.
Apple, raisin, sugar. Apple, raisin, sugar. Apple, raisin, sugar. Don't be a big booger. Apple, raisin, sugar. See, you guys can remember that. Apple, raisin, sugar. Apple, raisin, sugar. If you want to make vanilla, then just get yourself a vanilla bean and pour some vodka in it and let it set.
Yeah, you'll need more than one vanilla bean. You know, if you're going to make vanilla extract, you know, maybe at least get 3, and then you can put it in, you know, a jar, and then you can put.
We have several varieties of apples. I had a little sheet with the map on it because we got.
These are the best apples too. I don't even have any clue what the
Granny
name is.
Smiths, and we got a couple other types, and one began with a Z. And I lost yeah, maybe it was. And I lost the doggone sheet.
All right, look. Hold this.
Hold it.
What'd you do with my sugar?
Sugar.
I need the apples.
Apples, brandy, sugar. Apples, raisin, sugar. Apple, raisin, sugar.
Okay, so I did apples. I just sprinkled. Don't ask me how much.
Yep,
you don't have
don't
to
ask.
About it. Apples, put a little sprinkle of raisins. Then I do a little sugar on the top like that. Uh-oh, that was too much.
Yeah, our camera is just a cell phone. That's how we roll around here. It's pixelating. Don't worry, but just listen closely and write it down or get Stacy's book.
Apple, raisin, sugar.
Apple, raisin, sugar. Apple, raisin, sugar. Copper cups are good for your digestion. They help a lot of different things. The melatonin in your skin. If you go to this link here, offgridwithdougandstacy.com, hit the shop tab. This is like a recording, but then you can read the description and you can see all the things and why it's so beneficial for you to drink out of copper. And that, my friends, is why they got rid of copper pipes.
Yep.
And put you in the PVC mode, because everything's about the plastics. Apples, raisin, sugar. Apple, raisin, sugar.
And I'm leaving some of this for the chickens.
Chickens love it.
Yes. So
Apple, raisin, sugar. Apple, raisin, sugar. Be careful giving this to pigs if you're raising them, because if they eat too many apples, they can actually get sick and get drunk.
Well, no, that's if they have been
sitting around, yeah.
Yeah, if they're on the ground for a long time and the sun gets to them. All right, so apple, raisins.
What can you do after all that stuff? After your brandy's done? Nothing really. Throw it in your compost pile, because we've already sucked everything out of it.
Once you're done with the apples, you know, you'll smell them and it's like, whoo, they'll be alcohol-y. Some people eat them. Or some people have made breads and stuff with them because the alcohol will burn off. It tastes okay.
It's all squishy. Hey, listen, if they do the digital, because I've been 17 years doing this.
Because I don't ever.
Listen, if they do digital currency and they're coming to take your land because you won't comply, it's time to get out the guns, y'all. I mean, I said it. If you want something, you're gonna have to fight for what you believe in, and it may come to watering the tree of liberty. So don't be scared.
Apples.
Be prepared, okay? But yeah, no one's taking nothing from me, okay? And if they do, I won't be here to know it, because I'll be in the hands of Jesus. Yeah, that dancing video was a lot of fun.
All right. Oh.
Nope.
No one told
Apples,
me.
raisin, sugar.
I forgot the sugar.
Apple, raisin, sugar. I've been singing it, girl. Apple, raisin, sugar.
No.
Apple, raisin, sugar. And that's the thing
I'll have to
about
do a
this
double
stuff,
thing.
y'all. It's not that, you know, you don't have to be so stringent and what do you call it? Rigid on the stuff, right? Like, you know, there's a little flexibility here. And if you want to know all this information, Stacy wrote 3 books, and you could get all this information and have it at your fingertips in case the internet goes down. Get Stacy's books. Oop, books here. I can't believe we're still hanging in here. Y'all are so cool. We got 2,000 people watching. They want to know how to do this stuff. They want to take their food in their own hands. Just get some organic sugar or pure cane sugar from Hawaii.
I normally have a wooden packer, but it's out in the outside kitchen. So make sure. Can you
white
see
sugar?
this?
Yes, white sugar.
Make sure that
I know it's blasphemy, but you got to do it.
You have to pack. You have to pack it down.
Sugar, apple, raisin, sugar. Pack that little booger. Apple, raisin, sugar. You got to pack that little booger.
You want to pack it really good.
Yeah, this is the brandy right now.
I'm making brandy.
And we did the ACV right before this. So if you just showed up, make sure you watch the front part.
But what I'm trying to tell you guys, if you're going to take time to do this, make a lot, especially with the brandy, because you can put it in cute little bottles and you can give it as presents and people love it. And actually it's kind of neat because it took so long. A lot of love went into it. And then when you go to have a little drink, let's say you have a special occasion or, a holiday or an anniversary or something, it's kind of cool.
We eat chicken sometimes. Like we used to eat it a lot more when we first got out here, but we're red meat people. So we do eat some, but we're not butchering the chickens like we used to do. We do eat the eggs like crazy, but Pack that little booger because it's apples, raisins, and sugar. Man, you got it to the top. Fill to the brim. That's it. I'm cutting you off.
I'm done.
Too much brandy. Look at those muscles, y'all. That's the homesteading will build these muscles.
I am telling you the one thing that I did learn, because I did this our first year down here after we got because I had got apples from the Amish before our apple trees were mature. I would do this because it's going to kind of shrink a little bit. You have to pack it in there really good because it's going to shrink, and you don't want any air. You want it pretty tight to the top. So that's why. Give me another apple.
No, I cut you off.
That's why you don't want me to keep doing the full one. I'm only going to do a half of one.
Marie, here's the link right here for Off Grid with Doug and Stacy on the store, and you can scroll down to the pearl powder. Okay? There's the
someone
link right
about
there.
5 gallons. If someone wants to do, if you have a bunch of old apples, you could do 5 gallons of it, and that would give you a nice amount of.
You could do it in a food grade, bucket.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You could.
We like the glass better.
But you could.
You could.
It all works. You can do this. All can be done. Lots of ways.
Apple, raisins, sugar. Apple, raisins, sugar.
Okay. Ugh.
How many apples per gallon jug?
See, I don't want you guys to ask me this
We don't
question.
do that stuff.
So just know.
It's just a third, or fill it up, boom, boom, boom.
I might have had a bunch of holes in here. I'm going to give these to my chickens.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these I'm going to save. Molly likes to eat the core, so I might give some to Molly. I can go ahead and put the cores in as well. That'll all work fine too. Because we're not going to be...
White sugar is horrible. Yeah, we agree. We don't want you eating that stuff. We just need it to ferment this stuff to make the alcohol content.
Feed it.
Yes.
You're not going to have...
Yeah, you could do it in a 5-gallon crock as well. That's how they used to do it back into the day.
Because, growing up, my grandmother, in the old country in Armenia, they used to make brandy all the time. Now, people will say if you're a big aficionado making alcohol, this isn't really brandy, but I call it brandy.
Yeah.
So this is just my little recipe. And actually, I learned this from an Amish girl.
The little Amish drunks.
No, I learned it from one of the ladies. She brought me down in the basement and showed me. And she said, don't tell anybody.
You can use any size jar for this stuff, but just know you got to put apples, raisins, sugar, and fill it up and squish it down.
Yeah. Apple, raisin, sugar.
Are we going to sign up for Social Security and Medicare? We paid for it.
I can sign up now. They sent me all my information.
Now. We busted our butts and paid into that stuff. I mean, why wouldn't you get your money back? Take full advantage of it. But you don't have to go to the doctor every day and let them pump you full of bogus medicines. But like our buddy, he's on the stuff, and he had a triple bypass. He had the Widowmaker, and it cost several $100,000, and he just paid $300.
Okay.
I think there's more than one video on the woodlot, Jeanette. You know, there's probably more than one video, but there's not a lot of videos. I think I did a couple live shows from over there at the woodlot.
Do I need more apples? No. Yeah, normally I make it in a bigger container, so.
Apples, raisins, sugar.
All right, here we go. So now, oh shoot. I guess I could do more. Now we're going to be done.
Can you use the brandy to make tinctures?
No.
You want to use vodka?
Well, it doesn't. It can be.
Or glycerin.
It can be. No, it can be vodka. It could be brandy. Those would be my favorites. I would prefer to use 80 or 100 proof. I mean, you have to know.
You just said brandy and you said no.
Homemade.
Home.
To make this.
No, she said, can you use brandy, this stuff, to make your tinctures? That's
but we're making brandy. I thought you meant, can we use this?
No, now pay attention.
Okay. Yes, you can use brandy to make tinctures. But not the homemade brandy. I wouldn't. You need to make sure that it's like 80 or 100 proof.
Honestly, she's made this stuff several times. I've never really had any.
Yes, you have.
Not that much.
No, we don't drink it that much. I give it as gifts.
She gives it as gifts. Don't tell me yes, you have. I'm not a drinker. Never have been a drinker. And, this is how it is. But we like to have it,
I give it as gifts.
She gives it as gifts. We do make it. You know what I'm saying?
We've had it before, but he doesn't drink it. So I just don't give it to him. All right. So then what I'm going to do, this is my one time a year I use plastic wrap. So you're going to put the plastic wrap over the top and pull it really tight. I'm going to do a couple layers.
Again, it's not technically brandy, but it is an alcoholic beverage, and,
Make sure you're over 21.
We don't distill it or anything like that.
No.
What proof is the brandy? I don't know. Make some and then test it.
I have no idea.
We've never
I'm not
tested
a professional alcohol
maker.
I'm just showing you. I've done this for 17 years.
This is just some homestead show. If you're new around here that you happen to cross, and we're just showing you how we do it.
Okay, and it works. So.
Pineapple Power Suit is a dope retard.
All right. Hey.
Yeah, I said it.
So then then you put your rubber band on it like so. Here you go. So what's going to happen is because of the sugar and everything, it's going to start to get a juice in here. And what I normally do, I'll wait a couple days. And once it shrinks a little bit, I'm going to put a little bit more apples, maybe one more layer of apples, raisins on top of this. So it gets very close to the top. And then I just get a book like here. A book maybe that I won't read that much. And then I'll go stick it back in the pantry or in the corner somewhere. And I just go like that and I leave it alone. You can put the date on there. You could put a piece of duct tape and write, October 13th, 2025. And then know that hopefully, you'll get it within 8 months, 7 months. If you want to go back and try it after 7 months or 6 months to see how it tastes. Generally, most people say, it's sweet and it kind of tastes good with a little bit of an alcohol flavor, but I would wait a little longer.
Even if we brought it closer to the camera, we're pixelated and we can't really, show you that good. But this is what it looks like. It's all layered. Apples, raisins, sugar. And there's nothing going on in there. And then after a while, you'll start seeing the liquid form. All the apples will start juicing out all over the place. That's the job of the sugar, is to ferment this thing and to make it alive.
And the best thing, I have done this with apples that aren't very ripe. You're going to get a better brandy if you have ripe pears or ripe apples. I've done this both with pears and with apples, and it does great. But generally, like I say, I like to go 8 months, 9 months. Even you can go a year and it tastes incredible, and then you just bottle it, strain it through, like a cloth. And then you can bottle it, and then you'll have it, and you can use it, like I say, for special occasions. I still have apple brandy down in
Because
the
we
root
don't
cellar.
use it.
What?
Because we don't use it.
I have a lot of it bottled, and actually, when I was down, I was cleaning up the root cellar, and I opened it up and I tasted it, and it tastes great still. So it's not going to really go bad because it's alcohol.
We're not really for the dentist. I mean, basically, they're just like the big pharma doctors, lying to your face, cutting into your gums, snatching your root canals out, putting bad mercury fillings in your mouth.
Unless you go to an organic or a natural or a biological dentist.
Yes.
Those are great. A holistic dentist, those are great. Because they will do things the right way.
Yes.
Okay, so.
And if you have those fillings, you might want to have them. You think about having them taken out of your face. I mean, it's expensive and painful, but you could do it.
It's not. No, it's not.
It is.
That's on my list to do. That's my last thing I need to do. I'm going to get it done, but hopefully sometime soon.
Yeah, we could have brandy tasting in the root cellar. That's funny.
So
dang, y'all, we just showed you how to make ACV. We also showed you how to make a little, brandy right here on YouTube Live. University.offgrid with Doug and Stacy if you want to learn more of this hands-on training stuff. That's where we kind of focused our attention, especially since, YouTube demonetized and slaps you around when you don't talk the way they like you to talk. Also, the Pearl Powder will be here this week. We'll get more batches of that out. If you want to get some or get on the list, you can get it there, but please be patient. Don't be emailing, talking about it.
Cherries would make an incredible brandy.
Yeah.
So, and just make sure you put the sugar in there with them. Yeah, that would be great. You can use any fruit. Yep. Some taste better than others, but cherry would be good. Apricot would be incredible if you have apricots. Plums would be incredible. I've done plums one time. That was good. Plums would be good. Yeah, it would all be great.
Man, we just went blurry. Man, YouTube, as soon as I said that about YouTube, they just blurred us out. Look at that.
Look at that.
Look at that. Oh, here it comes. It's fighting. It's fighting. Guava. What do you think about guava?
I've never done it before, but I don't know why it wouldn't work. So, yeah, pears are good. So all those are all really good ideas. You guys, there's so much we can do with everything that we have around. There should be no waste whatsoever. I mean, you could use all this stuff. Like, all this is not going to go to waste, all my stuff here. And I was talking, so it wasn't. A lot of these had a lot of blemishes to them. The chickens will enjoy these. And Molly's outside. I'll give her an apple core too, and she can have a little snack.
Can you use frozen fruit?
I would not use, like when we talk about fermenting, I wouldn't use all frozen fruit. I mean, you could put some frozen fruit in there, and then I would put some fresh too.
Dang, y'all, we're answering your questions. We talked about how silver is skyrocketing.
But yes, you can.
That's a sure sign that you better buckle up, buttercups. They are already rattling the chains on the news stations about this depression or this stock market crash we could go through, because they got to fix all this stuff. It's not going to be easy. They got what was it called? The simulation, the poverty simulation happening around here, and maybe around your area. Look it up and see if it is. I'm going to try to do a story about that. I find it very interesting. A lot of times they do these simulations right before things pop off. Yes, we know you're still waiting, Casey, for that pearl powder. We have our next batch is arriving here any day now, and then we'll get it right out to you. And if you guys order some, be very, very patient. But we do not play around, and we get our stuff out. I just underestimated you guys. I really didn't think it would sell so much. And so we're way behind, and then I had to order more, and it's a big process. And so I'm going to do better. But we got to get caught up. And there's a lot of you and just me.
Oh, Pamela, persimmons could work too. Yeah. And then, like I was saying, the frozen fruit you could use, like if you're going to actually ferment, can't use all frozen food. But if you're going to do this, you let it thaw out and you kind of made it into a juice, that would work fine too. Yes, you could do that. But if you're going to do actual like a ferment, like I talk about, like if you ferment with water and brine or honey or something, you need to use fresh. But if you're going to make the alcohol, you'll be fine with frozen food.
Miles, you could just get over it. We don't give out our last name because that's just what we got. This is all we got is our little name and who we are. We give you everything else, right? I mean, gosh, can I have a little privacy? Holy guacamole. Y'all are a trip. All right. Yes, I'm glad you guys.
Oh,
liked the
pomegranates would be good
demonstration.
too.
Yep, pomegranates would be good.
But I like pomegranates. I love putting pomegranates on salads. And my favorite one, we talked about it last week, pomegranates in honey. Oh, that was in the university.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pomegranates. I did a honey ferment with pomegranates.
Says Doug and Stacy, I grew tomatoes in 7-gallon grow bags. Do I leave the roots in the over winter and decompose or pull everything out? You can pull everything out of the bag, but if you have any of those tomatoes, we did the Amish seed saving trick. Type that in, Amish seed saving trick off grid Doug. And then all you do is slice up those tomatoes, put them on a pot with dirt in it, and then put it in your root cellar, put it in the garage, put it anywhere. It could get freezing cold. That's the whole idea. That's how nature works. And then when you come out of spring, you start watering it, and then all those tomato seeds will pop up and start growing tomatoes like crazy. And then you just thin it out and go from there.
Okay, are we good? Did we get everything?
We did good. What is your advice on someone who had almost completely start their homestead over because of the original homestead start was vandalized and damaged without lots? I would say keep better track of your stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how somebody could get in there and steal all your homestead stuff unless you were living somewhere else. We live at our place 24/7. No one's going to steal.
Unless you make sure you put locks on your barn and stuff.
Get yourself a dog. I don't even want to live like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if there's a problem in your area, maybe think about moving. We know people because we came to the Homesteading Life Conference, which we do every spring, and we have security experts there. And he gave a tip about putting these doorbell ringers that, they just notify you if someone's coming down your lane. They're wireless. They work off batteries. And we actually got a story just recently on how she went and bought some of those, put them up in the back of their property, and I'll be doggoned if the meth heads didn't move in and try to start making some meth over there. And they came out with their guns and rattled them real good and told them to get the, HE double hockey sticks out of here. And that was the last they've seen of them.
Oh, she said they had to leave for a while and just move back.
Always get a home sitter. You know what I mean? Like, always try to find somebody that'll watch your place. And help take care of your animals and all that stuff. If you leave a property abandoned, especially in today's time, squatters could move in there, or even worse, they could pick you clean. So always try to find a home sitter. You can usually find one on Facebook or Craigslist or somewhere. Get some, recommendations from them. Make sure you interview them properly. And then, you can always hire somebody to watch your stuff if you have to take out.
Oh, aren't the apples cute, Gary?
Dang, y'all, we are killing it. We've been on here for what? An hour and 32 minutes. We're trying to help you guys along. The most capable hand is at the end of your wrist. If you want to get Stacy's books or anything like that, or anything we talked about tonight, get it here. And there's the link right there. If you ordered the pearl powder September 22nd or 23rd, you haven't got it yet, we know. And as soon as it gets here, which is going to be this week, any day now, I'm expecting it, and we'll get it right off for you, okay? I can't find the link for the pearl powder. The link is literally right above your comment, Renee. Literally right above your comment. And then just scroll down and you'll see the pearl powder, okay? What about apple seeds for dogs?
Fine.
Yeah, it's got, it's good for everybody. That's what makes you good.
They scared everyone saying, you know what? I mean, our arsenic, there's arsenic in all seeds, If you're not going to eat like pounds and pounds of arsenic.
Truckloads, right? Yeah. Sandra Jones, if you live in a crappy area of the soil, build yourself some raised beds and go get the organic good soil, and you can grow whatever it is you want. You're not a prisoner to the soil or the rocks or the anything. Like, you have workarounds, and we've showed you how to do it. We started off in the soil, and now we're in the raised beds. And my friend Noah, he says, you start off in the soil, then you get the raised beds, and every year you get older, the beds get higher and higher and higher. Man, UFON is a homestead homie. That's way back in the day, y'all. Our early videos, man, we had homestead homies and homestead homie shout outs, and we had your kids sending us letters and pictures. I love those days. We had field trip Fridays. I remember all that stuff. I don't know. There's just like wireless, intruder alerts or doorbell ringers or something. You guys just Google it. Just say something like security, wireless, alarm or up there. Just battery operated.
But the trick was getting two, because you need right when they first come in, and then you need a second one because sometimes people pull in and might back out.
Yeah.
But if you do one down lower, you know someone's coming in.
Right. And we do really care about you guys. We want to see you do well. There's Silly Rabbit. What's he want? He's always up to something. Harbor Freight. What'd you get at Harbor Freight?
Talking about the cameras.
Oh, here it is. Wireless security system, alert system from Harbor Freight. It's called Bunker Hill Security. This is Silly Rabbit. He's one of our moderators here. He lives in Texas. And man, he blows my phone up, but he's always looking out for you guys as well. And, you know, he is quite the inventor and doer around there. He's, I think, 70 something, maybe close to 80. And he ain't even joking around. All right.
So say it. What is it again called?
Some of the Amish will sew for other people. You have to develop your own relationships. I cannot, you know, open an Amish sew factory or anything. So you just got to find some Amish around you and then, you know, get to know them a little bit and then ask them if they would mind making you some clothes. That's how.
Yes, I miss Field Trip Fridays too.
Yeah.
I like Field Trip Fridays.
But you know, everything in your life is a chapter. You know what I'm saying? Even this cute little log home that I built in 90 days all by myself with a few help from some friends. And we've been here 17 years. This is the longest I've ever lived in one spot. Seriously. Not you, but me. The longest I've ever lived in one spot.
Robert's funny.
It's time to, what's Robert saying?
Do we eat candy corn?
No. And it's time to kind of turn the page and, you know, see what happens next. Okay. So we're going to keep you guys informed on that. And you'll follow us along with that journey. And man, we just really appreciate you guys. There's the general store link if you want to get any of the stuff we talked about. Why move if it works? Because maybe there's little certain things that we just kind of been doing, but we'd like to be a little bit better. You know what I'm saying?
Because we've learned a lot. And we're just
this place is
tweaking
absolutely
everything.
fantastic, but maybe just a little bit better.
Yeah.
That's how life is.
And we always talk about aging in place.
And we'll always be here. We're not going anywhere. I'm not going to stop making videos. But, you know, I just this conspiracy stuff, it's not even a conspiracy. All this stuff is so real. But I mean, it's just too much. And plus, I am so busy doing this thing we're doing. Like, it's a one-man show over there, too, with a little help from my friends. And so, you know, I'll probably do a video and catch you guys up to speed like that. So, you know, it's not some 5-year building the homestead videos. I can't believe people do that. But it'll be pretty quick because you can actually get in there, build something from scratch, PDQ. You know what I'm saying? What we all do with the home you have now. We already talked about, my mom was right over there. She's fine just there. We're just right there. That's all. We're just from right here. We're just going to be right there. And we've already talked about renting this place out. We've already got that all figured out. And you guys will just, you know, stay tuned. It's like a new season. All right. Hot diggity dong.
All right. Are we ready?
If you have kidney stones, you probably want the pearl powder. And you need to drink more water and no sodas and no carbohydrates and no sugars. So, yeah. But again, if you guys get the pearl powder, just suck it up, Buttercup.
So, Angela, just always check into your healthcare provider about what's going on.
It'll take a while.
No, she just has to check.
And no, I'm talking about getting the pearl powder.
Oh, yeah. But just, you know, check and make sure. But it's just a food source.
Yeah, it's a
just loaded with lots of vitamins.
Don't ask your healthcare provider because they're not going to know nothing about it.
Well, but she has.
They're going to want to push pills or anything else on you guys. That's just the simple facts of it all.
But you can check if you have a naturopath or somebody like that. You know, just to make sure.
You have to scroll down. You know, scroll down on the link. You can see it. If you can't see it, then you definitely need the pearl powder because it helps you with your vision. I know I'm a little sassy sometimes. All right, so we're out of here. We showed you guys all this stuff. Now Stacy's got to clean up, and we're going to go to sleepy night-night. We go to bed around 9:30 around here. Molly's awesome. She's outside hunting.
How old is she? I'll probably go out there. And
how old is she? She's like
7,
6 or 7. You guys can watch the videos when we first brought her home.
I know. It's weird because like some of them it'll say, YouTube it'll say like 6 years old, 7 years old, and she's a puppy. But I know she's like 7 this year.
No, we're not going to have a mansion. Sorry, wrong channel. Man, y'all come up with some goofy stuff, boy. I'm telling you. Dang. Stone cold goofy stuff. All right. But we like you even though you're goofy. Ah! Yeah, we don't really winter garden, but we will have a fall garden that goes pretty deep into winter. We were on Facebook, but my channel got hijacked by the Indians, so we're not on Facebook. But we have a group on Facebook called the Homestead Homies, which is totally free. Picture of me and Stacy on a stage, so you know you got the right place. And we have about 70,000 people in there sharing their stories, talking about the stuff. I pop in here and there, and it's really a good time. All right, that's it, y'all. Now we're going to do the tour around the homestead.
There's nothing to see.
We never know, man. You never know. They might pick up a little something. Hold on. I'm going to have to get a light. Let me get a light, y'all. Get a headlamp. Got to have headlamps on the homestead, y'all. That's the only way to survive the homestead. All right, let's see.
No headlamps.
Let's see what we can see here.
Yeah, they're all dead.
They're all dead? You're not even charging your headlamps?
I had 3 of them break within the past 2 weeks, and so I told you we needed new ones. That might work for 2 seconds.
There's a red light one.
It's not going to work.
All right, I got backups. Dang, girl. I got backups. I got plans. You can't stop me from the homestead tour every night on the end of the videos.
See, people are bored.
Dang. All right, this is our little Amish-made coffee table. Isn't that cute, y'all? That's made out of hickory, right? There's our buffalo hide. We got that when we went to Redmond's for the mine tour.
A good book right there.
That was really good.
Get that from Dr.
You guys can get the Contagion Myth
from Dr.
Cowan if you go to our link that I've been providing the whole show, or go to Stacy.com and hit that shop tab. Scroll down, you'll see Dr. Cowan. He's also going to be speaking at our spring homesteading life conference, which is going to be the bomb. We hope to see you there. Limited seating. We sell out every year. There's some of the stuff Stacy has in here, some ferments and stuff. Tinctures, my bad. My bad. And then this is where we get our hot water during the winter time and stuff. That's behind our wood cook stove there. Okay. There's a new mattress topper. We got to keep that in the bag till we're ready for it. That's our little kindling bag.
From what I just used.
There's our Berkey that you can't get filters for anymore, but I bought a bunch of them so we'd be heavily filtered because the government shut them down. Somebody wanted me to go slower during the thing last week so she could see these things. I got this book here too. It's very interesting, y'all. It's called The Historical. Can you see that? The historical front page of the newspapers, right? And it's like from 1 years to the later years. Very interesting stories in there. And then we have like the Atlas of the Bible and the Black Law Dictionary and just on the modern herbal something. And then raising chickens, you know, all these books we could have wrote ourselves now, but these are just good beginner books. If you want to get some books, Black's Law Dictionary, you might want to check that out. There's my grandfather's electrical book for electricity. He was a union electrical guy, and that book is so old. Look at those rivets in there. So that's a really cool book. So we have a little bitty bookshelf. And so there's an old trunk, you know what I mean? Like, this is just how we roll. There's my beautiful wife of all these years, 20-something years. There's nothing really going on back here except laundry and stuff. There's a cedar cabinet that the Amish made for us that I sized up to fit right in this corner right here. It's very nice cedar cabinet.
There's my
There's her layman's hand grinder up there, but we don't really care for layman's no more. They are woke and they canceled us. We don't like that. We like free speech, even if you don't agree with it. You just leave people alone and let them say their piece. Here's her hanging plants, because I don't know if you guys know this or not. You should have plants in your house because it helps with the oxygen in your house and filters and everything. So we have these hanging up.
That would be a little help.
Yeah. So that's just how we do it. We got something. What is this you got hanging upside down here?
Holy basil.
Some holy basil in the house. So that concludes tonight's tour. This is a big mirror that Stacy has had for years and years. We've dragged this thing around.
I love my mirror.
She got, did your dad and mom have this? Or how did we? Yeah, that's her mom and dad's. So this is one of the things that we kept. She loves it. And then this is our little table and chairs we got. When we bought the alpacas, these people had this in their house. They were literally going to like toss it or whatever. And I was like, man, we needed a table for in here because it's kind of a tight spot. And so they sold this to us for like whatever it was. Super cheap. And we've used it ever since. It's like the Mexicans made it. And it's
Mexican cedar.
Mexican cedar. And it's all handmade. They're very nice chairs and table. See under here, that's a pretty bulky little table stand and stuff. Well, that's all I got for you guys this week. Stay vigilant out there. And remember, the most capable hand is at the end of your wrist. How soon we forget all that stuff, right? If we're so dependent on the system. All right, let me get this off of here. And night-night, y'all.